Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Market Wave. Let's talk about today. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Today is November 3rd. Let's talk about this week's analysis. Before I go to the individual chart, let's talk about the events that we are having it this week. We have FOMC meeting on Thursday. We also have elections going on. We have a Wednesday 30-year bond auction. Please make sure to plan your trade accordingly. Don't trade too much, or other words, don't overtrade. During this type of week, I usually suggest not oversize, as we saw also last week. Last week was the big earning week. I usually don't suggest anything oversizing. Let's see how things will go next week, because after election, after FOMC, we will figure it out what's going on with the trend. So let's talk about the SPX. SPX closed at 57.28.81. We definitely want to keep SPX somewhere at 57.20 or 5700 or 56.96, in other words. So that would be a better support in terms of SPX. If it's gonna break, then you will see definitely 56.85 and 56.78 to 73 in between, and last is 56.51. On the top end, I personally like to see SPX moving towards the 57.30. 35, 57.50, but the major one is 56.67. If it's go above 56.67, I would consider call. Below 5700 or 56.96, you would want to consider puts. That's SPX. Let's go to the QQQ. So QQQ, it closed at 487.43. About that, we definitely see 488 needs to be reclaimed and has to hold there in order for us to see 490, 495, 498-ish, and 500. About 500, it can go to the 5.4 and whole lot. Below that, I personally wants to see and make sure that it can hold 485 range and 483.81. So if that holds, it's a good support to kind of keep it. If it's not gonna hold, it can go to the 483 and 479 and 477. That's what we can see on QQQ. I won't give any trade ideas on QQQ because how it kind of closed on a Thursday, you can see very strong red candle, and then after that it's more of a green candle, but a lot of selling pressure were going on. So I personally don't suggest anything on QQQ at that point. Let's talk about Apple first. Apple, as we all know that Apple, it closed at 292.91. After earning, it didn't had any very good reaction. It dropped quite a lot, and below that we need to see 220 and 215 as holding. If it's below 215, it's very bad for Apple in terms of 210 is coming. Above that, it has to reclaim 224 and then 226 in very short term, and 229 is the biggest one, and then 234. If about 234, it can also go back to 237 and then go up more. Right now, call side is not good as long as it doesn't reclaim, unless it reclaimed 229. If it's a below 229, then or if it's a below 220, then I would consider 215 put for this week expiry. Let's go to the next one. Next one, I have AMD. AMD, after earning, and it didn't look pretty good, as you can see. Three red bearish candles that I can see. It's on a pretty last few supports that we have it on AMD. AMD should hold 141. Below that is 135.98, which is 136, 132, and 126 is the lowest I should see on AMD. Above that, it should reclaim 144, 147.36, and 152, and then 155. If it's closed below 141, then I would quickly consider 135 put a few weeks out. Then it would work out pretty well. Again, make sure if you're buying any put, 141 should be your stop loss. Next one is Meta. Meta is kind of quite tricky, as you can see past many days after earning. Even after earning, it didn't go well, so you can see the bearish movement, but the selling pressure is not that bad in term consider of Meta. Meta is holding pretty well on 565 or 566 like levels. So for Meta, it should reclaim 574. If it's a reclaim 574, then you can consider I would say wait for 580, but if it's 574, you can consider 585 call for next week or weekly calls that you can do it. Below 560, I would consider, or below even 560, I can see 563. Below 563, you can buy 550 put as well. That would be another trade idea for Meta. The next in the list is NVDA. NVDA, we bought 143 call, 138 call, expiring both next week, meaning this week, upcoming week. We have earning coming up next week, which is on November 20. So you will see the calls are pretty expensive if you're trying to buy or puts for next week. Nvidia, I personally feel like as we saw the news that came out after Friday market close, it closed at 135, but after market close it jumped pretty good until 139, 140 ish range. The resistance that we see it as long as it can hold there, 140 needs to reclaim and hold, and then 143 and 145 is coming, and then after that 150 and 155. Below that, it should hold 136 no matter what, or 133, and lowest it should go to 130 in this range. I would say 143. If you miss that 138 call or 143 call, I would definitely buy 143 call expiring this week, or if you want to buy for expiring next week, feel free as well. It's gonna be a little bit expensive, but you can buy it for sure. The next in the list is Netflix. Netflix is in quite a range after earning. As you can see that Netflix moved from 736 to 764, and it went to all the way to 773 or 773. The best thing right now Netflix is doing is it's holding the 749 level, and it continue trying to break about 764, but it's not. It's unsuccessful, and it unsuccessful breaking 749. So as long as it holds in this level, it's not a great idea to trade in between those levels. But if it's break below 749, then it's definitely coming to 736 and to all the way to the 725, that level that I can see. Above that, it should, if it's going about 764, then you will definitely see 773, and it can go to this 780, that I can definitely see that. The next in the list is Palantir. Earning is coming on Monday after hours. As you all know, Palantir, it should hold at 41.53. Below that, it should go. It can go to 39ish or 39.50, 39.28 range, and below that 38 or 36. 36 is a crucial level to hold for Palantir. About that, as long as it can break 44-45 range, then at 48 is coming, and then after that is 50 and 55. Palantir, even I can totally see that this is still in the range. As you can see, my blue trend lines, it broke about trend line sometime in September, but it then continued trying to go up, and now it's holding pretty good value at the 41 level. So as long as it holds over there, it's pretty good. But that's all for this week. Hopefully you guys plan your trade accordingly. Don't size too much, as we talked about it as our election and as well as the FOMC week. I personally will size down, so just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up over there. And if you haven't joined our Discord, please feel free to join our Discord, where we provide a lot of good trade ideas, as well as the morning trade plan, and as well as the during the market we provide the market commentary. Feel free to join the Discord. It's listed in the description.